and welcome to today's video. Today we will be discussing and rating the Black Cauldron.
The Black Cauldron is based on not just one book, but several fantasy books. Am I right in thinking that?
Yes, 5 books.
It is 5 books condensed into a 90-minute film.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Unlike The Hobbit, that turns like one book into 3 2.5-hour films, this condenses 5 fairly sizable books into one 90-minute film.
The Black Cauldron is definitely a film that used to be 5 books, put it that way. It is trimmed right down to its basics. In fairness, there's not a lot of production companies that can get away with doing that like Disney can. I think you're almost, when it comes to unfaithful book adaptations, you kind of just let Disney crack on with it. So they literally just took, I don't know a lot about the books, but I assume they took the main character,
They took like the villain, the main characters. So like Tyrion and Princess Longwy are like the main characters in it. Floodar is also in the book somewhere. Like the main villain is the Horned King, but I'm pretty sure he's only like the main villain for like a couple of the books. And like they basically just took a handful of characters and were like, it's the second book is where the majority of the plot comes from. Is the second book in the series, but they chuck in characters and occurrences from the other 5 books. I can't actually remember the name of the book series, which is really bad, but they're a Welsh fantasy series.
When it comes to figuring out what the best Disney of all time is, what I like to do is I go to the Disneyland parks and I think what carries on throughout all of the parks and what is the most prominent thing there. So, for example, last time I went to Disneyland Paris, I saw a lot of Frozen merchandise because that's big at the moment.
So much Frozen.
The Lion King's really popular.
Yeah.
Stitch from Lilo and Stitch is
in Paris they love Stitch so much.
You would be hard pressed to find anything Black Cauldron related. It is.
They might like sell the DVD, but there isn't even like any like dolls or anything of it. So like there's no like. I guess like they do like the princess dolls that are like fabric dolls. There's no like Elionwy isn't there. Like they do like Peter Pan and stuff. There's no Taran. There's no Gurgi. Like Gurgi is a fairly like cute like Disney creature. Nowhere you can't buy a Gurgi plush anywhere.
That tells you pretty much the main warning sign of this film is that Disney tried their best to pretend it never existed.
They just hide it.
Does it deserve that hate?
Yes.
Okay, if the next thing to talk about is how it is unlike any Disney seen before. If it wasn't for the poor animation, I would put this as a noughties Disney in the fact that it's like... Well,
it does seem to have come from the experimental era, doesn't it?
Yeah, it seems like someone... Like, in fairness, I'll give it... The one positive I'll probably give this film is I was complaining I was getting bored about all the Disneys were the same with just... books told with using cute animals.
Yeah, this one isn't.
He put his foot down and went, let's give Luke what he wanted.
We'll do something different. I hope you're all happy now, people.
So I would take the blame for this, even if it was released far before I was born.
Well, I think like a decade before you were born.
I'll still take the blame. So it's something about a magic pig?
Yeah, so Henwin is a magic pig. Again, it is so loosely explained. Like everything is so loosely explained. So I actually ended up rewatching this a couple of weeks ago because me and my friends do a Disney night on every Tuesday night. We sit down and we watch something on Disney Plus. And Molly, for some reason, who is going to pop up in a video pretty soon, she chose the Black Cauldron, and it just doesn't make sense as a film. And obviously, as we're watching them, we're like having a drink and talking, so we're not paying as much attention as we should be to the Disney films. But the Black Cauldron, literally, if you stop paying attention for about 30 seconds, everything has changed.
I think, as watching it, like even just normally by yourself, don't know why you would want to do that, but if you do, you end up just rolling with the punches.
Yeah.
It's just something's happened. You just take it on the chin because like I said, it's been trimmed down from 5 books. There's no time to explain it. So now there's a princess with them. Now there is a failed singer with them.
Yeah, Fluda, the old guy who plays the lute. Now they're in like an underground fairy kingdom and there's grumpy fairies. Now 3 witches have appeared.
And like a lot of it
like...
seems to be like jokes, like desperately trying to save the script. Like, well, let's try and be funny now. We'll work with some of the classics. Let's throw a comedy character in there. Comedy just doesn't land in this. I mean, I don't really like Grungy. Gurgy.
He's just like, it's just. So it starts off with like the pig, who you think is normal, and then it's a magical pig. Never explained how Henwen is a magical pig. She just like sees the future when you put her face into water, but only certain people can make her do it.
It doesn't really help weird. That I don't really remember much of a society. Isn't the boy just starts off in a cottage in the middle of a field, but like in the middle of nowhere? There's no like mention of any form of civilization. Yeah. So which adds to this sense of the like, story's just drifting. It's like this is our main character. It's just gonna drift, and I don't know.
Taran and the elderly guy whose name is on the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. Like Dalwyn, something like that. Dolben. Taran and Dolben live on the pig farm. Dolben is the keeper of Henwen. It is then revealed via the magic pig that the Horned King, who's the big bad, who is terrifying. He is terrifying as a villain. He is voiced by John Hurt, by the way.
Yeah, one of the first instances of a very, very popular actor taking on a Disney role.
The Horned King is terrifying. But then Taran, the pig farmer, has to go and stop the Horned King from using the Black Cauldron to raise his army of the dead to take over the civilization, which again, we have literally no proof that anyone else lives there. But it's the fact that Taran has been walking for approximately, 5 minutes. And then, just suddenly, there is the castle. And the way that it makes it look is pig farm here, castle here. At no point in the 16 years that he lived on that pig farm did he look out and go, Dolben, what's that really creepy castle over there?
Yeah, it's not very well thought out, in all honesty. I applaud Disney for trying to be different, but you have to try and make it work. And it just doesn't.
Elionwe is a princess as well. I always thought she was super underrated, and I was like, why does Elionwe not get much love? And she's a bitch, okay? Let me tell you, she just shows up, and she's been kidnapped by the Horned King. Again, doesn't explain why, doesn't really explain, her kingdom, or if her kingdom's still there, or if her kingdom's been ransacked or whatever, just offers no explanation. She has this weird, floaty ball of light that follows her everywhere, which, again, no explanation to. And she meets Taran, and she's basically trying to escape the castle, as is Taran. And she's like, oh, hello, I'm Princess Elionwe, who are you? He's like, oh, I'm Taran, a pig farm. She's like, oh, that's a shame.
Again, if Disney thought about the script a little bit longer, maybe just brought out some elements, that would make sense, and that could be actually quite a fun character dynamic. But again, there's no time for that. No. It's just, she's on the team, let's go. And then
somehow, by the end of the film, they're in love. And there's just no arc for that. There's no development for it. It's just at the end of the film, they're a couple now. Still being followed by the creepy older man, Fluda, who is in his 60s, presumably also has a kingdom and a family somewhere. No mention of that, just follows on with the preteens.
Right, here's the thing, Disney. You're into your remakes at the moment, and you're remaking all the solid classics.
Don't do this.
No. They need to do this. They're remaking Lion King, not changing anything about it. They're just remaking it.
No, they changed plenty. That's why it's crap.
They remake Beauty and the Beast, which is amazing, but it didn't really expand on the story. It needs to look at the weaker Disneys, remake them. The Black Cauldron, make it a trilogy, and then
do all 5. Do all 5 of the books. We'll be happy. I just want it to have some meaning, please.
Yeah.
God, right, should we do a fun fact before I go off on a tangent?
Yeah.
So my fun fact is that it did actually get into a theme park. Yeah, I know, right? It was in 2. They were in the Magic Kingdom, which became the Friar's Nook eatery. There was an eatery there originally called Gurgi's Munchies and Crunchies. The only mention of that in any American parks. That was it. No, it's gone. It's the Friar's Nook now. It's gone. In Tokyo, however, they had a haunted house kind of thing underneath the castle as a tour. And the Horned King was the big band in that. And it seemed absolutely terrifying. Like, you had to go through all these other equally terrifying scenes to get to the end. A guest was chosen to basically be like Taran's representative and wield the Sword of Light against the Horned King. There's a big creepy Horned King animatronic up on a throne. When you go into the room where there's skeletons all over the room and the Black Cauldron in the middle, he then starts with this speech about how he's going to kill you all and you're going to feed the cauldron and become his army of the dead. And then the volunteer basically has to go and smite him down with the Sword of Light. Like, terrifying. It is gone now, though. That was only there from the late 80s, like when the park opened, up until 2005, when it got replaced by a princess meet and greet.
Yeah. I mean, the Horned King, I mean, I don't necessarily think he's a bad character. I think he's creepy, but he just does not belong in a Disney film.
No.
And he's not memorable enough to, I don't know. Like, so I like John Hurt's Horned King. I just think, wrong.
It's kind of like, wasn't there an animated Lord of the Rings that came out round about this time?
Yeah.
It's kind of like they saw that and were like, let's do that. Anyway, ratings.
I'm trying to justify 2, but I can't 1.
Yeah, I'm also going to give this a 1 purely because I don't think we can give 0s and they went to the effort of animating it, so 1. 1 for effort.
Just, it's poorly told. At least Rescuers had something. Black Cauldron has nothing.
No, sorry. Sorry, guys. And with this episode that just had to be filmed because it's in the canon, we are off. Please have a magical rest of your day.